Hi, Terry VanNoy. Welcome to Math Class with Terry V. Hope this video helps you out, and if you enjoy it, please share it, comment, or like it. And you can also go to my website, MathPowerLine.com. It's a math resource blog, lesson videos for students, and other resources for parents and teachers. Give me a call or go to my website or email. All right, let's go to today's lesson. All right, matrix operations. We're going to go over the basics of what a matrix is, what it looks like, and basically how it's used in the world of algebra. We'll go over how you add and subtract matrices, what scalar multiplication is, and then a little more complicated multiplication is called matrix multiplication. Kind of takes some coordination there. I'll show you how that works. And mixed throughout this video series, we'll have some problem sets, and then at the end a self-quiz, so you can really see how well you know these concepts. Alright, it's time for this first video on the basics of matrix operations. Well, the idea of a matrix comes from systems of equations. Now in algebra class, sometimes you're solving more than one equation at a time, and the important part of the solving of these systems is the coefficients here. The x's and the y's actually are not all that important. What we focus on is the number part for each of those x and y terms, even the constant at the end. So you look at the 3, 4, 5 and the 1, of course it's a 1 if you don't see one, a -2 and a +1. So what you do is you basically take your system of equations and copy down the coefficients in a rectangular array. This is called a matrix. Now a matrix is not only an array, but you have brackets on the sides here. A straight line here on both the left and the right side of this number array is actually a determinant, which is kind of a related idea to a matrix, but usually you see the notation of these brackets here around the numbers. And you notice how you'll have 2 rows showing here and 3 columns. The way the dimensions of a matrix are talked about is it's rows followed by columns. So this is called a 2 by 3 matrix. Okay, the rows come first. So that's important because we want to be able to describe these things in a consistent way. Matrices can be lots of different sizes, and again I have a 2 by 3 here. But one of the purposes for using a matrix and changing a system of equations into a matrix is it's less writing, and it actually can help you speed up the process of solving the x and the y values here of this system of equations. Alright, there's some other uses too, but basically it's mostly for solving equations, and it's a simplified way of doing it. Now there's things that sometimes you'll have to do with a group of matrices, and that would be where this video series comes in, and it's operations of matrices. In other words, what happens if you're going to add matrices together or subtract? Sometimes multiply by an outside number, that's called scalar multiplication, or multiply one matrix by another. So we'll progress through that sequence of learnings here throughout this video series, and let's go ahead and start in on the rest of this content here, which is adding and subtracting matrices. Alright, numbers 1 and 2 you see here, they say to simplify, and that means to add or subtract as shown. Now the idea is that a matrix has to be added or subtracted to another matrix in the same dimension. Okay, they have to be the exact same size, which is why we have this idea of an undefined expression. In this case, this is going to be undefined because we have a 1 by 3. Remember, the rows come first. 1 row, 3 columns, subtracted by a 1 row, 2 columns. So because they are different dimensions, you can't subtract them. Alright, well that makes our job pretty easy. Number 1 is undefined, can't do it. But in number 2, the idea is pretty common sense actually. You're going to take each element in the first matrix and add it to the same element in the same position. So we're going to just be adding the 2 and the 1, the 6 and the 3 and the 0, and the 6 and the 4. There you go. That's a good warm-up for you, isn't it? Notice that a 4x1 matrix plus a 4x1 matrix gives you a 4x1 matrix answer. Okay, it's always going to be the same size and dimensions. All right, it's time for you to try this problem set here, and I want you to write down numbers 3 and 4 on a piece of paper, and then come on back. We'll check. All right, let's see how you did. Now, number 3, you have two matrices, the exact same dimension. They are 2 by 3, right? 2 rows, 3 columns. You could also write it here with the X symbol, which is not multiplication. Actually, in this case, it's just showing the size of this matrix. And here's the answer. And obviously, you got to be careful with your signs. But you're going to take -4 plus -1, -1 plus -1, and 6 plus 3. That'll give you your top row. And of course the bottom row, as you can see. All right, just keeping your numbers straight, and it's fairly simple. I hope you did well on that. Number 4, you're as you might expect, you're going to add the 2 plus the 3, and the -4, -2, and so on, and you should get this 3 by 2 matrix answer. All right, very easy. Remember, if the dimensions don't match up, it's an undefined answer. All right, next video is problem set 2. All right, there you have it. I invite you to go to my website now, MathPowerLine.com, or email me or give me a call. The way I work best with students is live online in my classroom. So if I can help you in any way, answer some specific questions, the first lesson with me is free as I show you how everything works. All right, study hard and take care.